Well, thank you very much for inviting me here, as I'm a member of the Social Democratic Party in the Netherlands, and I have been active in gender issues for quite some time, and I'm very glad if we can share experiences and also the problems we are facing, because even if I'm living in a progressive country, in my point of view, we still have a way to go. I also start with a bit of background to make you understand why we still have problems in the Netherlands concerning gender. And if I don't mention certain topics and you're interested in them, like I will not go into homosexuality, but if you want to learn more about it, you can ask me questions about it. And also I heard that some people are maybe interested in microfinance, and then I will be happy to answer the questions as well, since I have a long background also in business and also in large companies and small companies. I'm going to talk mainly about the economic, financial independence of women, since that is really the issue at the moment in the Netherlands. And I can tell you something about the Dutch culture, that married women were not allowed to work until 1956. And you can say that's a long time ago, but still the mentality in companies and also women themselves still rests with us. The idea was that women should stay at home and take care of their future children. And also we had very strongly in the Netherlands that when a man had a woman who did not work, it improved his status, because then he could really take care of the woman. And also we have this Calvinistic Protestant culture, which has a very strong emphasis on family. And besides that, we were in the lucky circumstances that there was no financial necessity. Holland was, after the war, quite well off financially. And we also didn't have a labor shortage, because we imported many immigrant workers, which was mentioned this morning already. A lot of people from Morocco, Turkey, and so on came into our country, and they made up a large part of the workforce. Then in the 60s and 70s, we had, of course, birth control, which had an effect on the amount of children. Religion became less important. At the moment, Protestant religion and Catholic religion is not very strong in the Netherlands. You can say that we see some tendencies that maybe Muslim religion is quite strong, but there you also see when people become more educated, religion becomes less important. People make their own choices. And we have now also forecast that we will have a shortage of labor, since people are taking children less and later in life. And this is really an issue for the Dutch government at the moment. The same as in Germany, we had last year that more girls finished a higher education than boys. But still women take care most of the housework. And the equal sharing between men and women is not there yet. So we have some work to do, especially to involve men more in the housework. It's not only an issue for women, it's also an issue of changes in men. We have, even lower than the average of the EU, we have 77% of women in high positions in companies and 20% in government. And this is in spite of a lot of activities we have undertaken. We have undertaken opportunity in business. It was also, let's say, not a government prerequisite or a judicial thing, but it was companies who decided that they wanted to have more women in the board, more diversity, migrant women, and so on. But still the result is 7%. Well, the shortage of labor is really pressing now. They expect that like next year. And nowadays the government really wants women to work more hours, because 80% of the women in the Netherlands work 12 hours or less. It's changing a bit the last couple of years, so don't point on the 80, but just to show to you that it's a very large percentage. And we had a survey that at least 25% of the women want to work more, and if they get more facilities, we even have a larger percentage. We have the highest work participation of the European Union, maybe except for Denmark. About 71% of the women work. But like I said, they only work a few hours. So if we take that into account, we are almost on the lowest level in the European Union. So something still has to change. But it has to do with our culture, that the idea is that the mother is still the best caretaker of children. Women believe that and men believe that. And it's a very strong idea which is difficult to change. Just to let me tell you something about our social democratic program for the next 4 years, just to show you what type of issues my party finds relevant. And one of the things my party finds very relevant is that we take fiscal measures, because now still there is an advantage for people who have the traditional family fiscally. So we have, for example, what we call a kitchen subsidy. If a woman stays at home, they get subtracted an extra amount. So these are things which are still a problem in our taxation situation. We want more equal share of work and care tasks. That's why my party wants to extend paternity leave for men. It's only 2 days, and we want to make it at least 2 weeks with full pay. The maternity leave in the Netherlands is 16 weeks, and the European Union wanted to change that to 24 weeks, but the Dutch so far think that it would be too costly, so for the moment we stick to 16 weeks. We also want to abolish pay differences between women and men. We have a pay difference of 22%, and, well, different percentages are shown, but it's higher in any case than the EU average. Also, we are saying that the care of the children is really the issue of parents, both parents, even after a divorce. So we are in favor of setting up co-parent contracts after a divorce, which really states the responsibility of both parents, because we see in some groups in society that the father seems to disappear and doesn't bother about the children anymore after a divorce. Childcare facilities is really an issue still. We should have sufficient childcare facilities, good quality and affordable. At the moment, there are talks to reduce the subsidies for childcare facilities. So I think we also have to look at different possibilities. One of the possibilities you can look at is to change the workplace. I will go into that later on. But anyway, it's still an issue, and especially also the issue of quality. Health insurance, we include the birth control pill, but there are discussions now to take it out of the health insurance package. Also, abortion, it's until now the decision of the woman and the doctor up to 24 weeks. But there are, since we now have, let's say, a more conservative government, there is again discussion about these type of issues. My party is strongly in favor that facilities are in place to combine motherhood with career. And then for some groups in society, we want to make forced marriages that they are punished by law, because they still take place. And like in Germany, in our judicial system, every citizen is equal for the law and should be, therefore, according to my party, treated equally. In our opinion, equal opportunity is essential for an open and free society. And this principle gets undermined by discrimination. Then I come to additional factors which are mentioned by academics and women organizations. I see I have a short time left, but maybe a few minutes more. Quota, we talked about it. I'm personally in favor of quota, because I've been around quite a long time, and I see that progress is very slow. And we made some calculations that if we continue like this, only at the end of this century we have equal representation in the boardroom. And the studies in Norway show that diversity in the boardroom really gets better results. I know that my party, as a liberal party, is against it, but I think there are a lot of women pressure groups trying to change that. Then the universities are taking diversity measures to increase the level of female professors, because it's very small, even smaller than in Germany. I was talking about new forms of work. There are now in companies projects to see if we can accommodate men and women more by working different hours, by working more at home. And these are quite interesting developments. We also think that government influence still is needed to stimulate girls also to take up technical studies, because they tend to take up social studies and there are less opportunities in that area. Another point is that girls and women should be educated in financial planning, because quite a few divorced women never realized how financially badly they were off. We also need adequate pension schemes, which was mentioned before. Females have less pension rights than males in the same age bracket. Well, I'm almost finished, so I hope I can just take this. How to achieve these goals? Legislation is still quite important, and also the pressure of the European Union and the United Nations, because we have to report every 4 years to the United Nations how we are doing concerning gender. And that really helps, because women groups can use that to make a point. We need the subsidies still for childcare facilities. And you can involve also companies to set up childcare facilities. Schools in the Netherlands finish at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We are now having a discussion to change that until the working hours. So they will stay open until 6 or 7 o'clock. You can do sports there. You can take creativity classes. So those things are very important. You see, even in Latin America, that schools stay open until 7 o'clock. We need a strong campaign to redress stereotyping, because stereotyping is still an issue in our country, because it's underlying, it's part of the culture, and that's why sometimes women might have the possibility, but they still don't end up in the top of companies and government. We need an emancipation monitoring in government and in other organizations to see how they're doing, because what I just heard from my German colleague is that you know, you make a pact and you expect that companies and government will do as they intend to do and promise. But in practice, it's very important that we monitor how they are doing after a year's time. So every year monitoring. Lobbying and networking of women groups at all levels of society to work together, to share our common goals and not to emphasize the differences. Like, I'm part of a political platform in the Netherlands which all political parties belong to. And we come together once a month to discuss common issues. And we try to come with one common view. And then we have discussions with our ministers individually, and to make it clear to them that these points are supported by all the women groups. And this group has adapted quota, but just for a few years to give an impulse to the, let's say, the different percentage of men and women in government and in companies. So we are not saying it has to last forever, but just for a few years to speed up the process. And we think that really works if you can work together. We have like about 10 parties, and most of these parties are in this platform. We also work together strongly with the European Women's Lobby. As you know, probably 2,500 organizations are part of it, and they are really trying to see to gender-related legislation, full integration of women's rights, and a gender equality perspective in European social and economic policies. Well, just to conclude, we still have a long way to go, but progress is being made. And I think progress is being made due to private and public initiatives, and local, national, and supranational government bodies. So I think it is important that we support each other initiatives in this area of human rights, and that we overcome stereotyping, because that's essential to move forward. Thank you very much.